Okay guys, this is starting to get out of control real fast. The San Antonio Spurs have done something I think is absolutely insane. And don't get me wrong, Fox is a good player and a borderline all-star, but this amount of money is ridiculous. We saw Luka Doncic get 3 years and $165 million, and now that deal looks like a bargain if you ask me. So if this is the money Luka gets, how much would you spend on De'Aaron Fox? Well, if you're the San Antonio Spurs, the answer might shock you. This is NBA Arcade, and today we're looking into one of the biggest overpays in recent NBA history.
We've got some breaking news here on NBA Today. Shams Charania back here with us. And Shams, what can you tell us about another extension out in San Antonio?
A Spurs star, De'Aaron Fox, has reached agreement on a 4-year, $229 million max contract extension.
Yes, you heard that right. De'Aaron Fox just signed a massive 4-year, $229 million max extension with the Spurs. This completely caught me off guard. Not because of the extension itself, but because of the amount of money they gave him. The reaction from Spurs fans is surprisingly negative. Not because of Fox and what he can bring, but because it limits their next moves around Wemby. If we break down Fox's contract and Luka's contract, this is the result. It makes Rob Pelinka look like a genius compared to Brian Wright. That might sound odd, because when the Spurs traded for Fox just a few months ago, the response was overwhelmingly positive. A young all-star level guard pairing with Victor Wembanyama felt like a no-brainer. And once they made that deal, this kind of max contract was always going to be the logical next step. This was a big moment for the Spurs. Even after decades of success, they've never really been a destination team. At least not post-Duncan, and not without Popovich on the sideline full-time. But Fox still had one reason to go there: Wemby.
I think this could be a really good defensive team, and obviously you have someone very special back there. It's a very unique opportunity. Not many guys come around like that. You know, not just him, but everybody else. I felt like the fit would be spectacular, and I feel like I have a lot of years left to play.
The Spurs landed Fox for a bargain. A couple of role player contracts, 3 first-round picks, including one from Charlotte that didn't convey, their own 2027 pick, and a future Minnesota pick they got for trading down in the 2024 draft. That's unbelievably cheap for a player of Fox's age and caliber, but it was cheap because he chose San Antonio and had just 1 year left before hitting free agency. And this is where the problem starts. When the Spurs traded for Fox, they desperately needed guard help. Stephon Castle looked promising as a rookie, but didn't project as an all-star level creator. Their other guard options looked pretty bleak. You guys have to understand this. When you have a generational player like Wemby, you need to react fast and do everything you can to get him help. So the Fox trade made a lot of sense at the time. But what San Antonio didn't bet on was their incredible luck in the draft lottery. Somehow, they ended up with the 2nd overall pick and picked up Dylan Harper, an incredible talent from Rutgers. He's everything a modern guard needs to be, a two-way player with good basketball IQ and scoring potential. So let's break down this backcourt problem they have. Fox is a score-first guard with questionable shooting range and shot selection. Harper is a different type of player, a slashing guard who can attack the rim but can't space the floor as well. And Castle? He's more of a versatile defender, but again, not the best shooter out there. You could argue that all 3 need the ball, and none of them stretch the floor. That doesn't mean it won't work. It's still early. But it does make you wonder, would the Spurs still have traded for Fox if they knew they'd land Harper? My answer to that is no. I think they would have used those assets to get a small forward or a power forward next to Wemby. So was the contract too much? Have the Spurs made a huge mistake and created an untradable contract if things don't work out? Maybe. We'll have to wait and see. But one thing I do know, the Spurs are battling for the playoffs next season, and they might be more dangerous than you think. Hope you enjoy.